Hello everybody, this is St. Charles. It is Sunday the 3rd of November 2024. Going to start with Bitcoin, and this is one where we gave the entry price back here at this 54,671 level, which is the correct call. We've had a bit of a bounce up. I did say the other day it's we may see trading down to 57,849, but it didn't actually make that, so it was a wrong call, but still we were right from the main area down here. And for me, if we can break this 73,858, that's going to give me that blue box target there that I had a long while ago, 81,992 to 99,995. And I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if they went toward the top of that box, but see how it goes. And I've also got a red box there, which is like a cautionary box at 79,408. That it might sort of run out of steam around that level, but we will see how that one plays out. So key level for me there is that sort of 74,000. Breaks that, holds above, we are good to go. That's Bitcoin. Next one I'm going to do is natural gas, and I'll just get the right one because I never get the right one on that. There we go. Right, so that's how I saw it last week, I think it was. I thought that we're going to get more of a pullback, and we have indeed. And for me, I think that what we see here, I think we'll see a bounce down into this red box zone here at 2.592 to 2.457, and then we should get some sort of a bounce. But obviously, if it can break this high here, probably head towards this red box zone here at 3.264 to 3.457. I think that's a safe bet near term. So that's a natural gas, and then we'll see how that goes from there. Next I'm going to do is the Great British Pound 10-year bonds. Haven't done those for a long while, but not looking so good, is it, at the moment? My previous preferred route was down to this red box zone here. It hasn't made it, so that's sort of scrapped at the moment. But for me, I think that we're going to be trading up to this blue box here at 4.725 to 4.993. Hopefully it's going to sort of do a double triple top here at a sort of 4.75. And doesn't head any higher, because I think that's going to bring other implications, but we'll address that when we get there. But Great British Pound 10-year borrowing bonds is not looking good for the government, is it? It's the costs are rising, so payments are going up. There we go. I think, in fact, I'll just do the US 10-year as well, because I think that's the same sort of tail over there. Exactly the same tail. I mean, it's probably looking worse for them, to be honest. At the moment, their rate's going up, but it's sort of had its corrective move. Hopefully that for them, it doesn't break this high here at 5%-ish level, because I think that's going to have major implications. But I think we're a couple of years away from that personally, but we shall see how that plays out. Next one I'm going to do is ATM. This is one that I covered off a long while ago and gave this blue box entry zone, which everybody thought was a load of rubbish, but we're nearly there. And for me, I think that I've always thought we were going to head down to 2.56p level, which would be an absolutely fantastic entry. But I've now decided, or changed my mind slightly. I think 293 to 272 could be the bottom, and we've sort of had these sort of big wick-off candles there, haven't we? So buyers are definitely stepping in there. So for me, I think, a cautionary tale of, I think that's going to offer good value for money. It may drop down to this lower blue box here at 256, which would be absolutely amazing value. And longer term, I think that, this could be an absolutely fantastic recovery play. And for me, I've got a much longer term target at 10.95 to 13.2 pence. I mean, see how quickly it can get there. I think tin prices need to sort of help that along, but looking really good for ATM for an entry there, and a long probably scale in, and obviously just be cautious of this 256 level down here. So the next one I'm going to do is United Oil and Gas, which is a request. I just say that this is a tiny market cap, so it's high risk. But there is absolutely enormous volumes with it. And for me, it's in this massive blue box reversal zone here. It's down to a minus figure, but we'll ignore that. So for me, the only thing I would say is that, it needs to get up to the top of that blue box to break out, which, that's 0.84 pence. You're currently at 0.265, so there's a few bags in that potentially if we can get up there. But there's a gap as well there. I think there's another gap here, isn't there, at 0.31, 0.32 level. It's see how it goes with that first gap, and then probably target the second gap. But not for me, too small of market cap. But good luck to everybody. Next one I'm going to do is ITM. And this one here is in a blue box reversal zone, which we gave a long while back, and indeed it's bounced. It's not a great chart overall, but I would still expect it, a couple of wave bounce at least to the upside. And my initial target is slightly altered, but I think that we could be heading up to that red box zone there at 59 to 64.95 pence. So that's ITM. Next one I'm going to do is Optibiotics, and this is one where we gave a blue box for a reversal zone, and indeed we're nearly there. So for me, I think that this should offer excellent value for money around 9.54. It's down to 2.61, but I don't think it's going to go that low. But for me, that should be then an absolutely fantastic sort of area for a ride higher. But for me, just waiting for that to get hit. So Optibiotics potentially coming into the buy zone. Next one I'm going to do is TYM, and TYM is a tiny market cap again, so again, but just be careful. But it is in a blue box zone there. I've not looked at the volume, we'll just have a quick sneaky look. So volume's up, so that's a good sign. Got a big wick off candle there, which so bulls are stepping in. But for me, overall, the target there, which Uber Bull's target would be 0.1725 to 0.1990. So a bagger and a bit, isn't there, potentially on that one? But as I say, tiny market cap, so do your research. Next one I'm going to do is GSK. And this one here is coming down to a blue box reversal zone here. I think this is a chart request. It's a massive market cap, isn't it? But for me, I would be interested there at 1338.5 to 1246.5 for at least a three wave bounce to the upside. So that would be where I would expect sort of get down into that blue box there, and at least a three wave bounce to the upside, and if it can break this prior high, then it's going to start another leg higher. But see how that one plays out. There we go. Next one I'm going to do is Rock, and again, I think this is a tiny market cap, isn't it? Is it? Yes, it is tiny market cap. But for me, that blue box zone there, 0.0895, is the reversal zone. It's sort of tagged it, and then it's sort of consolidating here. It's so far down, isn't it? It's been awful, over the years. I mean, look at that. It's a horrendous chart overall. But, hopefully you could get a three-wave bounce, and, there's no sort of target for me from here, but, get a three-wave bounce even up to 0.2. That's well over a bagger, isn't it? So, Rock, there you go. Keep an eye on it, see how it goes. But as I say, tiny market cap, be cautious. Next one I'm going to do is PXEN. And this is one we covered off a few times. And for me, we had that timing box, and it just started to go just before my timing, which I think we gave sort of over here. And for me, it's still, I think that, could be trading up to 9.5 to 10.7 pence. Obviously, it's not an active target, but it's looking really good. So, if I put the moving average on there, I think that looks really good at the moment. So PXEN looking rather good. Next one I'm going to do is AXL, and just bring that up. For me, I've got a trigger there as well, haven't I? So for me, I think 23.6 to 21.7 is the place to be loading that one up for hopefully at least a three-wave bounce to the upside. I don't have an Uber Bulls target on there. I will do next time. But yeah, hopefully you can sort of make an attack back at the tops there, sort of 33 pence, something like that. But AXL in that blue box, 23.6 to 21.7 looks good value to me. Next one I'm going to do is PLSR. I'm not going to do the UK one because it's pretty pointless. There's hardly any trading history. They're going to go straight to the Canadian listing. And this is one that I've covered up before, but that from a Canadian listing point of view, that's a really good looking chart. And we've got a load of consolidation in this blue box reversal zone here at 0.58 to 0.375. And for me, Uber Bull's target there is this red box zone here at sort of 2 to 2.5 4 pence. So that's sort of 3-4 bags, isn't it, over there for the Canadian listing, which really that's the only sort of chart we can go from. So I think that it looks like it should be good value for money over here in the UK. So that's PLSR. Next one I'm going to do is power metals, and this is one which we called spot on again. And we are in that, well, just outside of that blue box reversal zone there, 12.726 to 11.290. I do want to see price action hold above 12 pence. So I think if it breaks below 12 pence, then you're going to be seeing sort of single figures, high single figures, probably 9p. But for me, I think that support there is going to hold, and we're going to get at least a 3-wave bounce to the upside. And Uberbull's target there is sort of 22.5 to 25 pence, isn't it? So power metals, another great call. Next one I'm going to do is OMI. And this one here is in a reversal zone. So that there is, we've got a 2.8 to 2.26. As long as we hold above, we don't need to hold above anything actually, but yeah, looking good for a reversal play. Haven't seen the volume on that. Volume's a bit low. There's some tiny market cap, so you need to do your research, as I say, but it does, chart wise, looks very good. Next one I'm going to do is Boom, another excellent call from myself. And this one I called it, said that I thought we were going to go into this blue box here at 184 pence. We haven't quite touched it, but as you see there, we've had sort of a double bottom and bull stepped in with these wick off candles. But for me, I think anything around that lower area here is going to be an excellent value for a ride up, and if we can sort of break this high at 350 area, it should bring us up to 403 to 463 pence. So that is Boom, audio Boom, looking rather good. ALK is the next one, and this one here, it's going to be a tough one to call, but for me, I don't think that moves over. I think it's probably got a bit more legs in it, but I think it might have a bit of a pullback, but might do something like that. And then for me, I would have thought that 178 to 217 pence would be sort of the next target on that. So looking rather good, but just a bit of caution for entry now, I think. But really wanted to be in long from around that blue box zone there at 31 pence. I'm not too sure whether we published that or not, but there we go. Next one I'm going to do is CML, and just get that up. And for me, this is another one, blue box reversal zone. Just check the market cap. Let's have a look. So it's a 42 million. It's got tiny volume though, isn't it? So you want to be cautious with that. But it's in the reversal zone there at 254 to 211 pence. And I'd sort of expected a couple of ways to the upside. And even if it's sort of just as a recovery play, even up to 450, so it's nearly a bagger, isn't it? So CML Microsystems, worth a look, but as I say, volumes are low, so be cautious. Next one I'm going to do is Zin, and this one is another one. It's really low volumes, but it's a really good looking chart. I mean, I really like this one, but as I say, volumes are really low. But as you see before, it's done sort of couple of bags nearly, hasn't it? But for me, 63.5 to 49.2 should see a reversal to the upside, and the Uberbull's target there is 150 to 174 pence. But as I say, volume's low, so you need to do your research before entering. Next one I'm going to do is these are Request BTBT, which is a Nasdaq listed company, and for me, I think if we can sort of break above this 5.28 pence, going to give you 6.54 to 7.83. It's one which I'll have a bit more in-depth look at another later stage, but yeah, looking rather bullish on that one. And I assume it's linked to Bitcoin, so if Bitcoin goes, then it could start to really motor up, couldn't it? But look at the spikes in the past, but one that needs a little bit more work, but I think sort of initial term, I think 654 to 783 would be my target. Next one I'm going to do is BTDR, another Nasdaq listed one, and for me, my initial target there would be this 13.02 to 15.08. If it breaks that, and breaks above sort of in that box, breaks above this sort of 14.3 pence area, should bring us up to this 16.7 to 19.82. So that's BTDR, another one which I don't know anything about. I think it's something to do with crypto, so it needs to do a bit of research. But there you go. That's me for this lovely Sunday. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you again soon.